Hey there, everybody. This is Dandy Dragon, and once again, I am joined by someone who needs no introduction, Jarin. Jarin,
A
would you like to intro?
deserved one.
I was about to
I
say, would
deserve
you
all
like
of the
one?
introductions.
Wow,
Yes.
so important. You feel the need to interrupt me.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, for those who do not know, Jaron has been a long-standing member of the community. Sadly, he has not been able to join us as of late, but he is back again, better than ever, ready to bring up the greatest video you've ever seen. I know he will
Yes.
definitely hold himself to that standard.
Sure. Why not?
All right, today we have a game with Silly Willy and myself. Silly Willy, also having been on a bit of a hiatus, has returned to us better than ever, ready to cook. Are you ready to start off?
Yes.
All right.
I'm definitely not already started at 16 seconds. I
Oh,
would never do such a thing.
you would never start without me and get way ahead of me.
Literally never.
Yeah, like you're.
Well, you'll catch up.
Yeah, I'm already at the 25-second mark. It's
Oh,
amazing what two times speed will do.
right.
The
I
standard.
do like this wetlands map.
I do
I don't
well.
see it very often.
I've been seeing a lot lately in the custom lobbies. Not a lot of people downvote it, so
Hmm.
I've been getting in a lot of my team games, and I do love it. You can go aggro, you can be defensive. You don't have to transition to early farms because of all the food that's available.
Right?
Like you can see on the double scout, I'm already at near like 7 sheep. And there's like
Hmm.
I got 2 into my base already as is, so I've gotten the equivalent of 8 sheep so far, and it's just the first minute. Like this is good.
Yeah.
It's a
Yep.
great map for like French. Roost definitely does well on this map. There's a lot of deer behind the bases. There's a bunch of deer in the middle. It's
Hmm.
very it's just very like friendly to almost every civ. Like even if you want a fast castle, like if you were HRE for instance, if you look at my base, you got berries, woodline, and the gold node, and you
You
can
got that
even
8K gold node in the back. Yep, there's a gold stone and a trade post even in your corner too.
yeah,
So,
like you
yeah.
got everything. Like if you really want to, you could you could literally put the Aachen on top of the TC and or like between the golds and the berries and just
Hmm.
have 3 resources
In
just covered. Like you can
yeah.
fast castle very safely, very easily. Like even our opponents have
And yet there
similar.
are no HREs to Aachen drop. It's only the Ayubids and the English in the
Double
um
Jaune.
yep.
Double Jaune. Because you know what you want to do whenever you're playing is just have 2 of the same civ and just pump infinite knights. That is the way.
Yeah, why diversify your tactics? Why have more than one strategy that you can play when you can just make more knights?
Yeah,
Like that's just science.
yeah,
Like counter strategy? Nah, just more knights.
yeah,
Like spearmen, make more knights. Crossbows, make more knights. Stone walls, make more knights.
yeah. Eventually they'll chop through a wood line, and for that split second, you'll get in, and suddenly it's over. Just nothing but
Yes.
knights. And I will give a little bit of a bit of information here. We decided we were going to go knights only as a challenge for ourselves. So it's funny you bring that up, Jared. I didn't even mention that to you. That was
Huh.
like our plan. It's like, you know what?
I
We're
mean,
double Jones.
that's basically how you play every game anyway. So I'm not surprised that's for you. I am a little surprised that the good doctor would also go onlyknights.com.
Well, as everyone knows, a doctor handles in precision, and what is more precise than a 2-shot killing of Vills with a singular knight? Like that is all about the precision. What is a knight if not just a
Touche.
scalpel in the game?
Touche. Meanwhile, your opponent is aging up with the economic wing growth. It's an interesting choice.
Yep.
Ayubit, I would have thought
I would think
either
military wing.
maybe like
Well, against double
the
French.
reinforcement. Yeah, especially with double French. Like actually, now that you mention it, in general, I wouldn't recommend reinforcement ring. But considering the matchup, getting that free desert raider once you hit feudal as well as the steady supply, like would make a big difference in their game plan. But not gonna do that. Also, purple still not aging up.
Yep.
Apparently,
But
they have almost 1,000 gold, and yet they haven't aged up.
yep, because
What? Are they going for like a fast castle strat? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
White
They are.
Tower rush, bud. Yep.
Yep, of course. That
They
explains.
honestly, man, I do not get the current obsession with the White Tower rush from people. Like, I get that, like, it can be a very strong strategy. If your opponent doesn't expect it, then like suddenly you're going to be like screwing them up, because if they don't prepare, then they are screwed. But here is a very strong telltale sign that English is going for something like that, is the early campfires. If we look at Silly Willy, we see campfires looking at both his food sources. So they're looking for a place to attack or drop something. So with the genius that we are, if we go to only our vision, you can see I've been scouting out their base. And I've had a scout parked on their gold node for a while. So I saw that, like, the 10 Vills on gold, whatever it was. So
Okay.
suffice it to say, once again, the White Tower has been caught out.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Yep. Now, one issue that they've made is they went to get all their gold first, probably because they fear the night harass. But you actually want to get the gold, your age up a little bit sooner, preferably by the 5-minute mark, so you can get the king out, and that king allows you to put on pressure. So then they're forced into early spears, which or like to coop up and go like into a boom, like response, which allows them to get the White Tower up a little bit more safely. So this is a misplay, in my opinion, from Gas the Maul. Quite the name there, right?
Yep. I don't understand why he wants Mauls to get gas, but more power to him, I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
maybe he's just used to solar-powered Mauls and prefers to pollute the environment with gas power. Who knows?
Maybe he's a propane seller and he sells propane accessories.
That's probably it.
Yep.
He's probably a big fan of propane and propane accessories.
Yep. Yeah.
Understandable and relatable. But I see that you are getting in some early harass on yellow.
Yeah, he's really caged himself up. He has double towers. He's going for an early archery range. Now, the dandy special of the split harass definitely catching him by surprise there for a moment. But he's just like on things. So there's not really an opening for me to get on. Like, even if I went for the right side of his base, only his wood line's there, and his TC covers it completely. So it's not a good area for me to harass. But we do see the, because the glorious dandy scouting as I circle his base. I know he's off gold. He's been off gold for a while. So I went to check his berries, and you can see my scout immediately catches 26 villagers.
Yep.
And
this is gonna be. I'm going to love watching all of these villagers die terribly.
yeah, I know, right? And like me and Silly Willy both have 4 knights in Joan, so we have the equivalent of 8 knights in double AoE like men-at-arms. So this is bad for them. I use the scout to lure their king straight into the knights first, because the last thing you want is the king giving any healing that may save them. So you get the king
and there
out.
goes the king, which is awesome.
Yep. I could have even taken out the scout there if I really wanted to, but I didn't. Now, at this point, if you're English, you have a really tough decision. Do you try to get it up, or do you pull your Vills back and try for something else? I think...
This is a bad idea for English. Like, I think they should have canceled that and gone for a more defensive play once their king got caught out. Like, because, you can see them, like, all their villagers are dying. Silly Willy has pulled his own Vills to burn down the White Tower just in case, but it's not going to go up.
Yeah.
Like, there's too many knights. There goes the White Tower. Let's see. He does... Purple no longer has the resources to age up. Purple's out of the game.
Yep, he's on
Like,
four
just
Vills.
straight up.
He's on four
Yep.
Vills. That he is in a rough spot.
Yep.
So the reason Silly Willy pulled his Vills there is because I told him to, because I knew that when you try to cancel a landmark that you built, if enough damage is done to it, you don't get the resources back.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That, like, pulling the Vills was the right call. Like, being able to get that damage on, and preventing him from aging up again was an excellent call. And yeah, now it's just a 2v1. Like, Purple's dead. His strategy failed horrifically, and he has no villagers, no resources, no military. Like, he doesn't exist anymore. It's just Yellow. And Yellow does have some... Looks like he's got 4 Camel Raiders, which will help against what you guys have, but not enough. Like, he needs a lot more military than what he's got.
Yep. And I will say, when we look at what he's doing, though, he's doing a smart play right now, where he's going into this early defensive military. He's going to be getting camels, spears, make sure he's getting blacksmith upgrades, all that sort of stuff. And he's getting stone, which is either for emplacements, which I'm not seeing emplacements, so he's actually going for a second TC. The second TC, if he can keep enough Vills alive, along with his early eco advantage from all the Vills that he got from his eco wing, will do a lot of work. But Silly Willy just catches out a ton of Vills while I catch out the military, which is going to just hinder the hell out of them.
Yeah, this game, at this point, I feel like the game's over. Like, there's too many knights and not enough anything on the other side.
Yep.
Like, can he afford... Yeah, no resources coming in. He's got some wood. Like, he's got a decent amount of wood. He's got okay-ish food. He could build a few spearmen, but he can't even... Okay, he can just afford to upgrade the spearmen to feudal spears.
Yeah.
And that'll be all of his gold.
Yep.
Wow. He's actually cleaned up Silly Willy's knights better than I would have expected.
Yeah, Silly Willy forgot to pull out there, so he lost a lot to unnecessary tower fire.
Yeah. Even took down the zone. Like, that is very fortunate for Yellow. Like, if he hadn't gotten all of those units killed, like, it would be GG right here.
Yeah.
It really should be GG anyway, but it's now down to a 1... Like, it's still a 2v1, but at least it's only 1v1 in his base.
Yeah.
So he has that kind of sort of going for him.
Yep, and though, because we were sticking to our night-only challenge and we couldn't get rams, we decided the best course of action was to actually get some trade up online. So I do start getting trade in the background to help me just finish that off. Because if I can get enough gold to age up, or get enough gold where I can just pump infinite knights, eventually all things will, destroy before that. Now, we do see a really smart play from Purple. He knows he's behind. He knows he has issues. So he's putting everything on wood, and I'm pretty sure he's going to go for a second TC here to try to at least be a part of this. And he will get his king out to make sure he can defend with even just a few knights. Or a few spears.
Yeah, two, maybe even 3 TCs is pretty much the only option for Purple at this point. Like, because he lost his entire frickin' eco on a failed White Tower rush. Like, he definitely needs to get the Vill numbers back up.
Yep.
And I see that Yellow did manage to get their own second TC up, which is fortunate for them. But I don't think there's going to be... Like, the fact that you and DrSillyWilly have trade going up, like, that's really big for you guys.
Yep. It definitely gives us a very large advantage in terms of our military. Silly Willy, though, still not a very experienced player in terms of competitive play. Mostly does FFAs with the community. Did not have enough pressure to help me finish off Yellow all at once. So his army is only half the size of my own at this point, or even less than that. So yellow actually can hold out here just because Silly Willy did not eco hard enough behind this aggro. But to be fair, he did have to pull a lot of Vills for a few minutes just to deal with like one like tower rush. So that slows him down. But we
also, it's been like, hasn't it been a few months since he's played?
Yes.
Like, I have not seen him in forever, so I figured that's probably why. Like, just the rust in this game is real.
Yeah, when you take a break, it hurts you. Like you fall really far behind. But I'll say he's doing a good job of keeping up. He knows what he needs to do. He's getting the trade up. He's getting more.
He's got his Jean up to level 3, which is awesome. You can see he's got some champions out and about, helping out with the assault. So, at the very least, his micro's been good, and getting able to bump up that Jean.
Yep. No, he's done very well with that. And we can see Purple's actually getting the second TC up now, which is, good for them. That will help stabilize their economy a little bit. They're still just radically behind. I'm at near 60 eco, and if that's where they're at, once again,
they're at 21.
Yeah.
For Purple's eco, 38 for yellow.
Yep.
Ooh, yellow is forgetting to build anything. That's rough.
Yeah, I think that pressure on top of his base is just kind of overwhelmed him a little. But, and he has the food to get more Vills in production, but there's also kind of that mental position of, do I build Vills? Do I build military? What do I do? And right now, we have the night numbers to just kind of run through his base. Now, I figured at this point, Purple's got to be cooking something, because he did get some resources back. So I decided that the best answer to all things, English is pump knights into it.
True. And as we can see, the poor purple spears getting pummeled by the dandy knights.
Yeah, the Chad knights just don't care.
True.
And sadly, that tower is not going to protect his Vills. And I think at this point, it was either a misclick or just an acceptance of fate. He just pulled all his Vills out for some reason.
I think
because he runs back, but I think he misclicked.
That might have, yeah, that had to have been a misclick. If looking at what he's doing with the remainder of the Vills. Ooh, what's he at now? Back down to 6 pop. Gotta love it. That's what a White Tower Rusher deserves.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I feel no sympathy or pity for the White Tower Rusher. I do feel a little bit bad for Yellow because he got paired with such a degenerate scum. Yeah. And I love me my camels, but
definitely no
Purple
bias. No bias from the camel lover.
No, I would never be biased on anything ever. Camels are objectively the best unit in the game.
I will say, I've been learning this the hard way lately in team games. Before, because I mainly, as you know, did FFA. And even 1v1s where you don't see a lot of camels. Yeah. Because Abbasid doesn't get played very much, and in 1v1s, most people don't get a lot of camels out. And even I just make mass spears against them.
Very resource intensive.
Yeah.
There are 180 resources total, and it's split between food, wood, and gold.
Yeah.
So it's hard to afford the camels.
Yeah.
But they're great. Yeah. They are objectively extremely good units, especially against French. They are the reason that French fares poorly generally into Abbasid.
Yep. And I've found in the team games I've been doing, mass camel archers, dude, they're so tanky and they do so much damage. Even with a mass knight army, you can't kill them. If you have mass spearman army that counters cab, that doesn't work. Mass archers don't work because they die too quickly. You have to have siege to actually kill mass camel
archer blob. Yeah,
it's insane. It's so good.
Yeah, it is. That's why Abbasid is so based.
So I don't know about you. At this point in the game, at the 19
Oh yeah, no, the
minute
game
mark.
the game's been over for quite a while.
Yeah.
Like it's been the game ended when the White Tower Rush failed.
Yeah.
The rest of it has been just basically to see if you guys would make any misplays.
Yep.
And you didn't. So
Nope. Took out the English Vills even when they finally got back online. We had enough night mass that we could just take down stone towers and TCs. And now English, as he stands ready to hold firm, clearly willing to take this 2v1, sees the knights, and I think he gives up at a reasonable rate, you know? If I
okay. I was wondering if he made you burn down his landmarks, or if he would GG out of there.
I think upon the loss of his mining camp, he realized the true horror that awaited him.
Yeah. Well, GG's.
Yep. Good job, Silly Willy.
Death to the White Tower Rushers.
I know. Continuously, I have 2 videos, if not 3 videos, about White Tower rushes and either how to do them and how to stop them. I know a lot of other YouTubers have made videos about it and how, like, you shouldn't do it. And I still see it all the bloody times in 2v2s. Like, consistently. Anyone out there who watches this, if you ever want to, like, deny White Towers to this extent, just scout the gold. Just scout the gold one time before they hit feudal. You'll know exactly what they're doing.
Good to know.
All right. Well, thank you, Jarin, for joining me today. And thank you all for coming to watch. You all take care.